The member for Moreton.
Thank you, Speaker. The Moreton Australia Day Awards have become a proud feature of the south side of Brisbane's community calendar for nearly a decade. On Australia Day, we had a wonderful ceremony held for the first time at the Sunnybank Performing Arts Centre. These awards are all about celebrating the spirit of volunteerism in our community, and sadly, something that we don't see as much of as we would like, as Australia needs. So each year we have a number of Moreton Australia Day Award recipients, and I'll talk about them for as long as I can, but I do have limited time. But more importantly, we also announced the Sir James Killen Award for the Volunteer of the Year. We were fortunate to have Lady Bernice Killen present again to present the award named in honour of her late husband and former Defence Minister, Jim Killen, or Sir James Killen. And this year the very worthy recipient of the Sir James Killen Award was Mrs Janet Dean. Janet, a former teacher, has been volunteering for over 40 years and shares her time among a vast number of community organisations, including the Muslim Charitable Foundation and the Mount Gravatt Historical Society. Janet also works with refugees and migrants, and each week provides meals to the homeless. I'm so privileged to have Janet in our community. She is a very deserving recipient of this award and was so acknowledged by Lady Killen. The other many Moreton Australia Day Award recipients this year were Trevor Armstrong from the Pennywort Bushcare and Oxley Creek Catchment Association, Sergeant Jim Bellos, who almost doesn't need a recognition, from the Queensland Police, who does incredible work, particularly with young Australians and in the migrant community. Janice Benz from the Archerfield Airport's Friends of God's Acre, Elijah Buell from the Queensland African Communities Council, a local guy, dedicated member of the Queensland African Communities Council, and has done so much to help promote multiculturalism with a particular strong focus on African youth. I'm very proud to call Elijah a friend. Colette Crosley from the Acacia Ridge Community Centre Food Bank, Pamela Dale from the Probus Club of Sherwood, Hema Dissenayanki from the Acacia Ridge Community Centre Food Bank, does great volunteer work with people who are undergoing stress, Lucien Gunatilakagi from the Brisbane Eckerburn Lions Club, Barry Harding from the Stevens RSL sub-branch, Annette Harper from the Oxley Girl Guides, Rebecca Hughes from St David's Neighbourhood Centre, Helen Hind, who does some garden rescue work, Hajira Kelly from the Friendship Group of Our Lady of Lourdes Catholic Church, Chen Hao Lei, better known as Eddie Lei from World Arts and Multiculture, the chair of the World Arts and Multiculture group, who do great work, Colin James Lelay from Brisbane Eckerman Lions Club, and Pamela Ann Lelay, Maggie Lou from World Arts and Multiculture, who do great work in terms of citizenship ceremonies and beyond, bringing culture to the south side, Wayne Lucas from the Stevens RSL sub-branch, Annika McDonough from the Rackley South Swimming Club, Vicky Mitchell from the Relay for Life from the Cancer Council, Proteus Muhura from the Active Refugee and Migrant Integration in Australia group, Dr Greg Nelson, most well known as the principal of Sherwood State School, but also who does great work with the Sherwood Neighbourhood Centre, Helga Pyle from the Fairfield Riders Group, always got a soft spot in my heart for riders, Mile Kwikatumba from the Amiga International Church, Sarah Rukika from the Amiga International Church, Kelly Scott from the Lions Club of Currabee, Robin Solomon, who also does a great work at St David's Neighbourhood Centre as Vice Chair of the Management Committee, Denise Skelton from the Red Cross and Probus Club, Craig Tobin from Craig Tobin Aquatics, who I say a special hello to for his great service to the community, not just during the times of the 2011 floods, but on, and I wish Craig and his family all the best in their future endeavours. Jessica Walker from Yeronga State High, who consistently demonstrated outstanding community leadership in spearheading the campaign to have Mojdan Shemsalopa released from detention, a huge effort and an amazing win for our community. Well done, Jessica, and all of your team that you represent. Audrey Wise from Yeronga Meals on Wheels, who wouldn't like to be recognised in Parliament but should be for her great role. Danny Yeo from the Lions Club of Brisbane Chinese, and many other volunteer groups that I don't have time to mention. Unfortunately, time prevents me from mentioning all the others, but Reverend Heather Griffin, Loney Mills, Yanni Mills, Ruth Ross Peer, and so many other volunteers in Moreton. Thank you for the great work that you do, and thank you again to Lady Bernice Killen for the work that you do in recognising the work of our volunteers.